Hey y'all, welcome back to Cooking with Hannah Soul, and today we're going to be making Tuscan salmon and shrimp. Oh my. But before we do, go hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you never miss a video. Now let's jump right in and start seasoning our salmon. And don't worry, as always, the full measurements and recipe is going to be listed below in the description box so that you guys can cook this at home. Once you got these babies all seasoned up, we're going to go ahead and just massage it all in there, get every nook and cranny so that everything is seasoned. And then we're going to do the same thing to our shrimp, give them a quick little toss, and then move on to start some cooking. Now go ahead and add a little bit of olive oil to your already heated skillet and then drop your shrimp in. Now we're going to be cooking these about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, depending on your size. Of course, if they're a little bit smaller, you don't want to overcook them, but these are extra large shrimp, and so we're going to be cooking them about a total of 5 minutes. Now I'm a texture person, so I like to cook mine a little bit longer, but to each his own. Now, once your shrimp are cooked to your liking, go ahead and pull them out and just set them on a plate and set them to the side until we're ready for them later. And then we're going to go ahead and cook our salmon. Now, this is truly one of those quick after-work dinners. It pairs well with mashed potatoes, pasta, rice, or even just a side of vegetables. So you can really make this in less than 30 minutes. Now, as you guys can see, I am using skinless salmon, and that is simply because it's going in sauce. I typically love me a good crispy skin on the bottom, but once it sits in that sauce, it's going to fall off anyway, so there's just no need for it. So go ahead and use skinless, but of course it's okay if you don't have it, but it's easy to pull that skin off too. Now guys, we're not cooking this to completion because it is going to sit back in the sauce while it's still cooking and simmering. So we're going to be cooking this maybe about 8 to 9 minutes. This is what it should look like, and we're just setting it to the side, and then we're going to get started on our sauce. Go ahead and add some shallots to your skillet. Let those cook until they're translucent, and then add in your heavy cream and combine it completely. Next, we're going to season this baby on up with a little bit of garlic powder and some creole seasoning, and we're going to make sure it's well combined before adding in our spinach. And now we're just going to be adding about a cup of spinach into our sauce. You can always add a little bit more depending on how you like it, but we want these to begin to wilt before we move on and add our Parmesan cheese in. Now, I have noticed that freshly grated Parmesan works better, but you can use the one that's already shredded. But if you can, fresh is always better. Once that's all combined, y'all, I love a little bit of color in my food, so I'm going to add a little bit of paprika to richen up the flavor, and then we're going to be adding our salmon back into the sauce. Now, we're cooking this about another 4 to 5 minutes. We are going to reduce the heat a little bit because we're also adding in our grape tomatoes, and we still want that little bit of bite in those tomatoes. We don't want the skin to blister and for them to get too soft. So, again, let it simmer on like a low, and then, y'all, the sauce is going to thicken up and it's going to become amazing. And y'all can just drizzle some of that sauce on top and go ahead and plate. And I'm so sorry, I forgot to show you guys how I plated. I paired this with some Yukon Gold mash and garlic butter asparagus. I went ahead and topped it with the shrimp and a little bit more sauce, and ooh, it changed my life, y'all. I hope y'all enjoy, because as always I did. Don't forget to follow your girl on Instagram and TikTok or purchase a cookbook. All the links are below. And until next time, bye y'all.